Hello and welcome back to Astro Colony. We are going to continue building our space factory today, where we harvest asteroids and planets for their materials and eventually get to a black hole, I believe. We are going to work on automating screws and electronic parts today, as well as see if we can fix this area up back here. This is kind of our starting area that we were just manufacturing a bunch of random stuff at, and we need to fix our colonist over there. He is without food and without oxygen, so he is just laying on the ground chilling over there. Let's start with, let's start with screws. Screws are just made from rods. Rods are being made right here. So we'll grab this machine right here, bring this down to here, and we will put this right here. I'm not sure, we'll see. But this is going to make a rod or screws. Turn that one off, turn that one off. It just takes rods. So we'll set up some logic just like we did on this other one here, where we check this container down here for probably 200 screws and allow stuff to be output from here if it's under 200. So let's just get these hooked up real quick. I squeezed 2 in here. We have a inventory sensor down here. This one right here. We're going to connect that to this here. This is going to check for screws, which is this one here. Kind of weird. I guess it's like a box of screws maybe. So it's checking for that. It's sending that signal over to this decider right here. This decider right here, we're going to say if it's less than, I'll go 200. And that is looking for screws as well. We are going to connect that to this pusher right here. So it'll send screws over if that is less than 200. So it checks that for 200 screws. If it's not, it turns this pusher on. So we just got to put a conveyor belt down. And I'm purposely putting it this way so that the pusher will only work. It will only push it onto the belt if it is on, which means this is less than 200. So it is going to stockpile quite a few of these because it takes 10 seconds to make. So it's stockpiling 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, it looks like, before it makes one set of screws. So we could put another sensor on here to stop that, but it's really not a big deal. It'll just have a little extra buffer in it. So let's set up electronic parts. Those just use wire, which is stored in this one right here. It's copper wire. So we'll just put a machine right here for making electronic parts, which I believe is this one here. The electronic parts right here. It takes 3 wire every 12 seconds. So I added another logic circuit on this one. This is just checking, this inventory sensor is checking this machine right here for rods. If it has over 10 rods, it turns the splitter off so that it slows down using them, because it was stockpiling rods like crazy because it takes so long to make screws that it was just loading the rods in non-stop while it was trying to make screws. So it got way too high. We have almost 100 in there already. So this will prevent that from happening. Let's grab one of these again. We're going to come down here and we'll put this in here for making electronic parts. This is a very similar setup. We have a filter importantly here because this has a whole bunch of different stuff in it. So this is set to filter copper wire. We're going to pull it out here and just drag it over to here. It's going to get pushed over to here. If this sensor picks up that there's less than 100 electronic parts in there, and this sensor right here is just checking this machine to see how much wire's in it. If there's more than 5 wire on it, it turns the splitter off so that it doesn't overproduce. It doesn't oversupply these wires. So you'll see it's going to turn off here in a minute. So turn that splitter off. That's it in because I used a couple. So it'll keep it from overflowing the machine. Keeps it at 5. We should really make it 6 so that it has enough to do a whole another run. But it's working out. And this is set to 100. 100 electronic parts. So when it hits 100 electronic parts, it'll turn this pusher off. So that is electronic parts automated as well as screws. Come over to this area and see what we can clean up. This was just a bunch of temporary stuff. So this was making iron, copper, and gold bars. We've got that automated now, so we can delete that. Delete those belts. This was making carbon. So if this was for the carbon generators, we're no longer using those. So let's delete that. This was for making the sheets. We have all these automated, so we can delete this. This was for making rods. Can delete that. This was for making wire. We can delete this. And we can delete these carbon generators as well. Move this setup. The icebreaker making the water and the oxygen and the hydrogen producer. We're just going to move down here a little bit. Get them. I don't know if this is going to be in the way, but we'll just set it up. I don't know how much water we're going to need. Probably a lot later on, but for now we'll just move it down here so it's a little more organized and so that we can create oxygen on a regular basis for our colonist who is, we'll say, sleeping on the job. Just relocated this stuff over here. We have a ice chest here, and this just feeds the water breaker, or the icebreaker, turns it into water. And I have two logic signals just set to turn off at, I think it's 10, so 10 oxygen tanks, and this is sensing 10 hydrogen tanks, and it'll turn these off. Once we start routing these hydrogen tanks out of here, this won't work because it'll never be full, but for now it'll work. I think we can just put this in here. So that should be good. That should get our guy back in walking. He's probably in there now. I know he's sleeping now. He's probably hungry, so let's put a little bit of food in here. I'm not going to put a whole lot because I don't have a whole lot. Looks like we can make other food here. What is this? Bread. We'll have to figure out how to make bread. Probably need to get into farming. Let's check out the tech tree while we're talking about it. Let's just start researching some stuff we can do. Recycling, let's get that out of the way. Vertical construction, let's take that. We definitely want to get agriculture, so let's do biology. I think we'll do the hangar. Mine as well. We'll do space science. How much do we have left? We have 91 left. That's good enough for now. Now, as far as I can tell, you cannot take these guys with you. I think once they're on there, they're on there. I don't think there's any way to get them back. I tried deleting one, but I can't figure out how to place it back down. I turned the power off. You can set this to 0. That just removes the guy and it sits in there, but I don't know how to get him back onto the thing here. Looks like he tried to get there, but he got stuck. I just made him stop up there. I don't know. We're just going to leave him behind. That being the case, we can pretty much just undock here. And we'll just leave that stuff behind. There's not much left on that island. We're going to head over to this one. This one this just has 199 copper left on it and some uranium, but we have not unlocked uranium yet, so we can't touch it. I suppose we could probably mine it, but let's go over to this guy here. It has a whole bunch of materials on it. Alright, so we are going to want to use this one here. I think we want to go right. I'll move us over to there. I built a little platform around there. Let's see if we're close enough. Looks Looks like we are. That's nice. It's going to auto connect for us. And now we just have to set up a whole bunch of miners on this and get it. There's some iron here, some copper, some carbon. So let's get some miners set up and get it mining this stuff. Build a small platform here. Let's go ahead and put down some mines. We'll just put them right here. Alright, they're all powered up. We just have to turn the power on at the dock here. Let's grab, I don't know, let's grab 40. And we just need to set these to, let's grab, let's set this one to copper real quick, see if he'll get rid of this chunk here. If that's alright, I set up 12 miners, 6 doing iron, 6 doing carbon. We really need to find a planet with some gold because we are out of gold over here. So whatever gold I have left is what we have. So we need to make sure we're always making gold because I think we're going to need it for more solar panels and who knows what else. So let's start moving again now that we have this planet hooked up. Let's just head up and see if we can find a planet with some gold on it. Looking at the tech tree here, we unlock some things that we aren't building yet. We have, let's see, these parts right here. We unlocked gears that we're not building yet, so we'll probably, those looks like they're just made from screws, so that'll be pretty easy. And then these motherboards here we're not making yet. And those just need electronic parts, so we can grab, this is rods into screws, so we can just take these screws and make another line down here into gears. And same thing with these are electronic parts. We can extend those down and make motherboards out of them. Okay, we got 2 machines making gears now. It's going alright, kind of slow. We have a little problem over here. We have these making motherboards. So this requires 2 electronic parts every 10 seconds. So 1 every 5 seconds just for this one machine. 1 every 5 seconds. This requires, this can only make 1 every 12 seconds. So we are making 2 every 12 seconds or 1 every 6 seconds. So these 2 machines cannot even keep up with this one machine. So we are going to have to scale up production eventually. But like we're not supplying copper ore fast enough anyway to really expand this out. So I think we're just going to leave it for now. And like I feel like I should be scaling up much larger. I've been watching some other playthroughs and it looks like people are going much larger builds than this. But for now it'll work. We'll get us where we need to go. I think we're going to go after, I really want to go after this navigation so that I can steer the spaceship here a little easier and get to where we're going a little bit easier. But that takes space science. We also need these engines. So space science takes motherboards and gears, which we just made. So that's pretty nice. So let's run down to the research lab here and make some space science. See if we can get these advanced engines and navigation up and running. We're going to unlock space science here. We're going to put these in here. We need to, let's turn chemistry off for a little bit so that let's turn that off as well. So let's just make space science right now. What do we need for that? Do we need I think we can do this with a scientist. But we need to feed him. Do we have any food? We have a little bit of food. Alright, we can now unlock advanced engines and navigation. That should allow us to build the better engines and hopefully steer a little easier. Engines here, these are the advanced engines. They take up quite a bit more power. They take up 15 per engine, whereas these only take 3 per engine. So but they do move a lot faster, so it's nice. I have one facing each direction, basically north-south and east-west, so that we can travel in any direction. And then we have this driving stand here. This is very nice. We can now eventually unlock autopilot where we can click on a planet and it will just take us there. That'll be super nice. But in the meantime, we can just use this to drive around. So if we check the map here, we have this one called Wise One. It has 66,000 gold on it. So I've brought us close to that one. We're going to hook up to that one in a second. It has a lot of iron and copper on it. And we'll probably have to find one that has some carbon on it. So like this one here has some carbon, 10,000 carbon. So I hate to leave this one here because it has a ton of carbon on it. But we definitely need gold so that we can get some more power going. So there's the island right there. So like if we want to, we could probably just disconnect this one here. So undock that. We will leave this stuff here in case we have to come back to get the carbon. So they're all going to dock because we took the power source away. So that's good. They'll just sit there and wait, and if we have to come back here, we can come back and get the carbon. But we're just going to grab this driving stand right here, and we can just move slowly right now. And that basically puts these going the right direction to move. We don't have to guess which direction we want to move now. We want to go a little bit closer to it. So we can drive it this way. Okay, we're all hooked up. I just dug a tunnel through this hillside here. It comes into the middle of the asteroid here, and we have a nice big dome or bowl. So hopefully that makes it easier for the drones to get where they need to go. I have these 6 doing gold and these 6 doing iron. We will probably set up another 6 to do copper once we get enough power going over here. But we need to get some more gold first so we can get solar panels built. So we just got to go build some drones, and then we'll probably go to the other asteroid. I'll probably go to this asteroid here, hook up to this one and get titanium and carbon going, so that we have a little bit of everything coming in. Let's go over here first and get these drones going, or these miners going. That'll get some miners going. As they build them, they should find their way out to the gold mine. I threw some copper miners over there just so we have some supply of copper coming in. And then I hooked up to this asteroid over here, and we have carbon and titanium being mined. I just have titanium because it's here, so we might as well start digging it up. I don't have a use for it yet. But this is nice. We have plenty of ice here, so if we need more water, we can easily just drill some of this. That's pretty cool. But I think we're finally going to go down the agriculture route here to try to make some meal preparation. This was what I originally wanted to start with, but I got distracted. So we're going to need some biology science. That requires carbon fiber. So we don't have a whole lot of carbon right now, but we can at least make one of them to get us going. It's made in one of these, I believe. We're going to copy this. We're just going to put it over here for now. And we'll put some kind of system here. I don't know if it's going to take all the carbon, because this takes... What does this take? So this takes 8 carbon every 14 seconds. So that's quite a bit, but it should leave enough to get this going. We want to make sure these are always being made. Let's start with a pusher right here. That will be hooked up to a logic circuit. So we'll do an inventory sensor. We'll do it here. Hook that up to a wire. And finally a decider. This is going to sense, I guess, this inside of this. And if there's less than 8 in there, we will turn this on. And we need this carbon. So this isn't making them forever. Let's set up another set of these. This is going to sense carbon fiber in this right here. That is going to, let's just do like 100, I think. If it's less than 100, we will turn this one off. Carbon fiber. So when that hits 100, it should turn this off, which should cause us to back up, which should turn this off. All right, that should get us a little bit of carbon fiber. It's going to be super slow, but it should get us enough to get what we need. Let's check out what the biology science needs. So biology science needs oxygen tanks and carbon fiber. So oxygen tanks are right here. We'll set this. This is only making 10 right now. We'll set this to make set this to make 200. That'll get biology science going pretty slow, so that'll give something to work towards next episode. Next episode we'll start on the agriculture and the meal preparation and see how that goes. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.